Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another night. A night of elite teams playing in the Zoned Out Gaming League. Today, we have none other than the amazing Raleigh Royals taking on eRise Esports. My name is Scabby, and I'm joined by none other than the amazing Hyperactive. How are we doing today, Hyper?
I'm always doing well, apart from the death of Duo, the Duolingo owl. Like, that's a sad moment in our lives right now.
Very sad.
So,
very sad.
Very sad. But I tell you what isn't sad is this battle we're gonna have ahead of us. And let's get this show on the road. It's already been kicking off, and we're starting it off on Protocol. The map of questionability, shall we say?
Yeah, it's definitely not a map favorite by many, but we are playing on it at the end of the day. They are vetoes that agreed on both sides, so I'm excited to see who has the ability to come out on top on this one. We got a household name at this point in the Pro-Am scene, and also entering challengers Cabal Prime, taking on Raleigh Royals Red, putting on a couple of events of their own, and in close collaboration with those Pro-Am lands as well. So two teams to be taken seriously, and two teams that have rightfully so earned their spot on the elite side. And right off the rip, P1, as per usual, not much time going to either of the two teams, but over to P2 is when you really start to see the scoreboard put this different way, Hyper.
Yeah, it definitely will be, and right now it will be favoring that Cabal side. And we say about how Cabal being a known organization that gets themselves into challenges, a steady foot in a way, making a few Sunday appearances, of course, but Raleigh Royals, they've had their one or two appearances as well, so equally as organizations, both teams quite level, but teams themselves, well, when you have Iowa on the side of Cabal and Breeze both in the same place, that's something really to be concerned. But vice versa, Raleigh Royals having Kona and CTW in the same place, that too just balances out, and this should be a very interesting battle between the two.
Yeah, Cabal had P3 on lockdown completely. I mean, they had all three on rotation, covering all doorways and entry points on the objective. Raleigh Royals making their first attempt, not successful, bringing onto the point. Anura denying that push from front door, double doors. There will only add it to the bodies of Red that stack on the objective. Finding one in the midst of mayhem for Raleigh Royals Red, and CW will also pick up on that momentum, but Zepox, last alive on the objective, will fall, and just like that, Raleigh Royals Red, after about 30 seconds of P3, are finally able to break the point.
Not too bad of a timing to break. You got the last 20-25 seconds, so a good chunk of that time. Then now you've got a lot easier halfway in a way to get to that P2, but once again, Cabal have been sticklers for making sure they get to this next point early and fast. This is gonna massively help, but a little too early because the Raleigh Royals is broken off the get-go, and now they have that control on the money hill.
Yeah, Iowa finding two on the objective there was going to do some damage with Kex coming in clutch when it matters most. He created that opening for the break over to P3, and now over to P4 he will do the same. But Cabal Prime settling into their prime of the money hill over at HQ, as many people would call it. There's Kex again trying to make a break, and he'll do it. He'll do it well. Now that there's the opening, Hanwha and Jeevan trying to get in there as well, but the reason why it's called a money hill, Hyper, I mean, despite the fact that Raleigh Royals were able to break that hill twice, once on the opening and once through the middle for scraps, Cabal Prime just had those spawns in their favor and had those gunnies a little too hot. 0 PCs as well with a 4 streak. Gonna put them on the radar for Raleigh Royals Red. You don't want to get a streak this early on into map number 1 if you can avoid it.
You don't want to give away any critical score streaks like the Hellstorm. The only thing you can use is the Hellstorm, so you don't want to give that away no matter in the match, and in doing so, they Raleigh Royals able to take that P1 control, but it's a little split right now. You can see 68, yes, Concaster. It's your goddamn game. Iowa he was sitting inside of the barracks, able to cause a little bit of disruption, but wasn't able to capitalize on any openings to allow the rest of Cabal to go and push onto points. So this has been a brilliant hold for Raleigh Royals to bring themselves back into this game. It's still a gap, and slowly creeping away is also the Royals at P2.
I was going to say Iowa might have just been the dagger for Raleigh Royals in denying the rest of the 15 or so seconds of time, 20 seconds of time of that P1 to go towards the boys in red, but they still persisted nonetheless and were able to get out of their spawns, get out of a potential spawn trap situation, and still fry at the same time. Iowa, though, showing no sign of slowing down either, despite the fact that his break was unsuccessful in the grand scheme of things. Over to P2. Hill has opened yet again. It's probably the third time in a row that the hill opens in red. CTW now his turn, given a taste of Cabal medicine over to the flip side with a 4 streak, complimentary with Kex on a 2 as well, so he could get pretty lethal pretty quick. But overall, all is well for Rally Royals Red as they keep on raiding on the board and on the feed. The reinforcement, a big wall of red, is just blocking any sort of blue to trickle on through until Nura makes a move.
Brilliant execution from Cabal, but it won't be enough as Rally Royals continue to bring this to their side. They started this whole match behind Cabal, but during that E4, it's just when they found the grip, they found that opportunity to come back, that P1, and then now they're in this position where they have the lead for the first time in this game at the halfway mark. And it's almost like they've just come alive. This is a new Rally Royals midway through the match.
Yeah, and 3 off with Kex. I mean, like, goodness gracious, they are absolutely unleashing the hot lead onto Cabal Prime. I mean, they had the objective, they had the rotation to their advantage from P2 over to P3. Cabal Prime, it was all blue arrows surrounding that point, and still Rally Royals have just mastered that rotation from holding P2 scraps all the way to P3, getting that successful retake, and not only retaking the hill, but holding it as well, and doing it in fast between the feed for Kex so far. Hyper, I think the MVP of this map will certainly move on over to him.
It most likely will, but don't forget Konwa. He is absolutely frying 21 and 17, just keeping the kills ticking away. Nothing double kill, triple kill territory, but able to get those picks where they need them the most. And guess who's got the money hill once again? It's gonna be red for the Rally Royals, and they want this hill. They can win it here. Yes, they can win it here. And they want it closed, and if you are Cabal, you just need to get contests coming in to grant yourself one more opportunity.
Stressful situation for Cabal. Now they can't win it anymore for Rally Royals, but it was for a second, right? You don't want to be able to win on a hill that's a money hill in the grand scheme of things, but Cabal has been able to take that money back right from Rally Royals, and now it's their turn to hold the hill. This could be the start of a fantastic comeback, but Rally Royals have done enough padding to make it take a long while for Cabal to come back. So far, though, they're doing a good job. Anura, that's a 5 spree for him, and some time on the board as well. And take a look at this, Hyper. 8 scraps. Cabal Prime into their prime right now, getting into the you know, the Cabal that we know, starting to get that Cabal train going and chugging along the tracks.
And a Hellstorm in the hands of the Cabal side, and they will 100% use it. Breeze having that 30 to 18. Would not be surprised if that Hellstorm gets dropped onto P1. All the rotation coming into it because they can't allow the Rally Royals to soak up any more time. Here is Kex again, gets in deep and gets dirty with his moves. That you've got to invest in that score streak because you're allowing so much time for the Rally Royals.
I think they already did, Hyper, and it just didn't land. That was Kex, you know, getting off the objective to get inside, and on the way he was like, well, might as well get a couple of kills while I'm hiding from the Hellstorm, and he did just that. Cabal Prime now in a situation that they usually put other teams in. They're looking down the barrel of a just under 70-point deficit at this point against Rally Royals. It's going to take a full hill rotation and a dream to do it. Rally Royals Red showing no sign of slowing down, even for the scraps as well as 0 PCs. That is a very unfortunate fall, because now you've been denied that reinforcement. The rotation goes through all as well for Rally Royals. They're hitting their shots on the way there. Conway using artillery to find out the last alive, the last breath of hope for Cabal Prime. And just like that, we have just witnessed round number 1, or game number 1, going in favor of the Lions.
Ooh, Rally really did rally up when needed. Started behind, as mentioned, and then just slowly kept creeping up that streak, keep the kills coming, and then overtook at the halfway point, and then just soared ahead. And it almost seemed like there was nothing that Cabal could do in these situations. Almost nothing. But
he's got to get a hand up on his guy.
We have to look forward. We have to look into that search and destroy next.
Yeah, Search and Destroy is next, but first the backtrack. Conwa 30 and 21 to his name. I mean, it's beautiful to see. G1, unfortunately, that's not the game that you'd want to see on a hard point, but he's still at 1 minute and 40 seconds, 47 of hill time, accompanied by Kex, 28-22 on 1 minute 55 of hill time. So if you're snagging up all the kills and you're a Conwa, it's okay because you got those two other teammates that aren't necessarily as impressive with their KDs, but still doing their job, doing what they do best, soaking up that hill time as Conwa prances around the map, has, you know, does his little dance like you said, and absolutely fries at the competition. But that's not obviously without any sort of resistance from Cabal, right? I think it took them a little bit of time to get off their feet, especially when we look at that HQ rotation over to P1. They held the HQ and, well, they broke it and held it for its entirety after that, right? So I think Cabal, you just kind of need a little bit more time to get things going, and Rally Royals slapped in the face a little bit there, not able to win it on a money hill. We're still able to bark back and, well, for their case, roar back as the Lions do, and do a fantastic job of closing things out.
It really did, but let's look forward. Let's go to a Vault Search and Destroy. Not necessarily my personal favorite for a Search and Destroy map, but I'll make it very clear that A site position just by the side of the vault itself, meaning that it is a very easy advantage for the attackers to get a quick plant going in. But it does lead to those questions. How mechanically skilled are you? Because I feel that is the only way to win this map, is to be a mechanical god. And the big question lies, Scav, we've seen that hardpoint come through. Who are you seeing mechanically skilled enough to retake that A site?
I feel like I haven't seen enough of Rally Royals to play S&D, especially on Vault, to make an educated guess, but I'm judging from that hardpoint and just the confidence that was, you know, just explored there from the boys in red. I think personally that the boys in red are going to take that momentum and carry it onto the Search and Destroy. But enough of us talking, Hyper. CTW is saying enough of them talking. Let me just get the bomb plant done and this round over with. As a 2v2 situation will settle.
You can see Cabal defending that B side. Always a question mark on this map whether it will go through in a quick rotation to see if they can capture any off guard. Kona decides his pistol. That's confidence and cocky, if I say so myself. Gets the kill, but will get traded out. Now down to Zepox versus CTW. CTW's gonna get the eye, but that a fuse slowly coming in, gets the information, a quick dodge out, but it can't happen. CTW gets the kill. Rally Royals up around.
Zepox, a little bit of an interesting chow there, especially when you got that low ground from the pool. You just kind of sought out CTW. Perhaps he was thinking CTW would, you know, be caught by the element of surprise and ultimately pushed out that way. But I mean, high risk chow, high reward at the end of the day, and unfortunately he did not receive the reward. He was the victim of the risk. CTW was definitely, I mean, if I was playing, I would have been jumped there for a second, because that was some pretty quick mechanical movement, like you said earlier, Hyper, that is required to succeed on this map. But Rally Royals Red taking the first one home. And now the ball is in Cabal's court to do the same.
Well, bomb planted deep, meaning they're going to stay inside of the site. No, he actually... he GA'd. I'm sorry to say, but that's a GA move. He bungeed himself around the corner.
Yeah, well, whether or not if anyone's going to say anything about it, or, you know, the tournament organizers are going to do anything about it, is beyond our reach, and it seems like nothing much is really going to happen as Royal Reds, regardless of the fact he's going to get the bomb defuse with plenty of time to spare. 7.5 to defuse. You had about 19 seconds left on the clock. So Rally Royals again showing no sign of slowing down against the boys in purple over at Cabal. And everything was just synergy. I mean, Cabal has the setups. You know, they have the areas covered. They got the quick bomb plants and distributed themselves pretty deep around every sort of flank or any sort of play, I guess you could say, that Rivals could have employed to get the retake on A. And at the end of the day, they just did, because they hit their shots. That seems to be what is the common denominator here, Hyper, and it seems to be what they do best.
Oh, I love this quick rotation to go B. They know there's only one player up on the north, and they're actually going to press him. And this could force and allow the rotations to come in. And I tell you what, this is turned into a disaster for Rally Royals.
Yeah.
This is too much towards that art control. And now look at the blue. swarming Kex. He can find one. Can he find the second? No. I get the plan. I get what they wanted to do. They have their player full at the early stages. That then causes that rotation to go and reinforce. They sent everybody there, and they couldn't get the kill done. And that just allowed Cabal to get all of them tied up on that B side.
Yeah, fantastic first round win for Cabal. Rally was a little too aggressive there, if I should say. I like the idea of completely, moving to the round quickly and blindsiding perhaps Cabal over to that B push. But at the end of the day, I think it was just a tad bit too aggressive, too trigger happy, for a lack of a better term, for Rally. But now Cabal won't employ that same strategy. You gotta have a certain level of confidence to do it, and Cabal does not have that right now. 2v3 situation. Bomb has still not gone down, and Zepok's doing a fantastic job, and this time playing a little more conservatively, as the rest of the boys over at Cabal will do. And Conwa, again, up to you to make that first pick if you can. He's closest to the next Cabal player. If he seeks out Palm Tree, he does. Knows when to bite a little bit and not chew too much. He'll hold his life, but Anura will eventually see the dagger and end the round, backstabbing round, quite literally, as Cabal have an answer. 2-0.
You're lucky they let me get you, bro.
Behind the back end, do some humiliation, but instead it just went for the simple kill. But Cabal, again, just had that post-plant position on lock. A couple of players on the outside looking at the bomb site, and just having an eye on the entire area is exactly what they needed to do.
What seconds left here and there. I think you might have been able to hear game chat for a second. I'm curious to hear what they were saying to each other. But
Something.
behind that now. Yeah, behind now. So here we go. Off to the races. These fine gentlemen go. The frags war what follows next. First pick wins excuse me, CTW trying to capitalize on that, not able to do much. Ziphox and Anura finding one. McConnell will trade out as well. So 2v2 situation will ensue. This time Bomb not going down as quickly and as frequently as previous rounds for Rally Royals, but it'll still get done at the end of the day, regardless of how or how many lives have to be lost in order to do it.
Just on the outside, getting a little bit of information, can tag up, and now Breeze, this is where you need to show your mechanical skills.
Oh.
And he could push in for the second, and now that's going to force a rotation out. But now there's a great opportunity to fuse if your second player's there, and he will try for it. Breeze just needs to look the right direction. He is right now. Coda coming in perfectly. Oh. With two Rally Royals brings out the rotation. I told them to look, and he called it. Timing is a bitch.
Oh my gosh, COD timing hyper at the worst possible moment, and Conwell will eat all that up like a filet mignon on his plate. To make it a 2 KD for this man. He wasn't able to do much last time he was the last alive. Smacked right in the back, stabbed right in the back by Cabal Prime. This time he'll say, I know what I'll do, and I'll do it well. I was saying earlier, it was a good read, right? I mean, not much, there wasn't really much of a child from bottom vault there, and so Cabal figured that he was rapping, and the worst possible moment, questionable moment, Cabal just checks and gets slaughtered.
It is what it is, and I tell you what it is. Rally Royals are pumped after that. 4 in the feed, done and dusted before we can even make comment to it. Royals are becoming the monarchs of this game right now. Cabal crumbling over that poor disappointment, and the thing is, they were positioned for the win. They were positioned to get that 2v1 instant win on their side, but losing something like that is horrible. And then to get 4P straight off the back, Cabal, you gotta lock in. You've got to put some coal inside of your steam train and start railing down this road.
Some mid-map control, a fight will ensue. Khan will get a little love taps here and there, so information is given to both sides. Whether or not a Cabal was able to spot out that 2 ran, one running from top balcony, jumping out right now, is the question to be answered for Cabal. But regardless of the fact, still, they're going to go for the easy plant over to A, and there goes the RCXD being utilized as well. You can kind of hear it rolling around. Kex employing the same strategy as he did one of the earlier rounds. Trying to see if anyone from top window is home, and they are. Comes to knock. Doesn't even knock, just busts down the door and kills him as a result. Bomb down. Anura versus Kex will be the next 1v1 we'll see. Kex gets that information. He'll go ahead and kind of retreat back. Get the call out for his teammates. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Breeze will arrive with those reinforcements. Not get the second. 17 seconds left. The desperation is starting to settle in, Hyper. 7.5 to defuse. This 1v1 happens. Is it their turn to get a 1v2? It is not. Rally Royals will shut down Cabal Prime. Map points.
Kex did everything perfectly. Goes to that north side to get that control over to B. 3 kill pops into their side, and what does the entirety of the ball do? They start focusing on him because they know the danger of leaving a lurker out, because he can come in at the very last second and deny that defuse that comes in. So it's important you take him out early. But Kex, play time, play the bomb, allow your team to get anchored onto point, leaves no room for the Cabal side to push back in.
Not today. Rally Royals will symbolize to the viewers at home as Cabal trying to do the very same thing that they were victim of. 1v2 clutch, not gonna happen. So here we go. Map point. Cabal Prime have to be in their prime here to clutch things up. Will follow for the make it 3. Anura with a nice 2-piece to shut down Rally. There goes the bomb as well. And just like that, they take home a round of the zone. They got 3 more to do though, Hyper, in order to force that map 4.
Big ass. Massively big ass. It's a good round. They were able to force Rally Royals into stepping out of positions, but that's one of many, and right now Cabal needs to keep going like this. They need to find another 2 just to tie it up. And if you're Rally Royals, now you're on this attacking round, I'd honestly slow things down. I wouldn't go aggressive. I would play slow, play for picks, and even maybe at this point, the skill that they have, maybe try for that B site, see what you can get. And just like I said, they're playing it slow, they're playing for the pick, seeing what they can pick up at this point.
Oh, I was a little scared there. I was gonna get turned on, but he's not able. Riley is not able to capitalize on any trades right now, which is beautiful if you're a Cabal, and now the water has begun to settle, which is, again, great for Cabal, especially when you're on that defensive side, though. Finally, Conwell will cause some ripples into the lake as Zapox will fall. CTW, again, thinking about opting for that incredibly appealing A bomb site. We haven't seen a single bomb get planted over to B so far this game, and I don't see Rally Rose breaking that anytime soon.
No, I don't think anyone really does. We can see the line, the conga line, down inside the vault. They're able to make the break, but there's only one person left of Kex. He could be the thorn in the rear end if he comes at the right time. That bomb is still going, still being diffused, and it will happen. 5-4 for Cabal Prime to come back.
Pitching for that round 11. Pitching to see that round 11 happen. Ball has what it takes. And they're strong rounds too. Usually when we get to a situation like, you know, the team that's in that deficit, they're down and, you know, they win a round here and there and they win them just barely crawling through. But Cabal is not doing that. Like they're winning these rounds by a mile, by a long shot. And that's exactly what you want to see in a team that you're rooting for a comeback, a team that's confident, a team that's hitting their shots, because that's when you start to see the boys in red start getting a little nervous here. The comms get a little quiet. The new round has opened up. Anura trying to find one from crossback early pick, not able to do it. Easy pick'ems is not what he'll say, as he still holds bomb tightly in hand. A wise decision, if you will. And Iowa will go ahead and use that opportunity to push on up, as the RCXD will be launched from Rally Royals.
Oh, that's a tackle for Conwa.
I know.
He gets a long distance shot, but it will get traded out, and it will in favor of Rally Royals. One left alive from Honora. Can't stay alive, and that will be it. Rally Royals 2 maps up as we head to Hacienda.
Yeah, it was a valiant comeback, you know, an attempt from Cabal, but Rally Royals was just frying their shots. Like you said, those nasty angles. Cabal tried playing incredibly conservative that round. If you guys didn't notice, I mean, the last fight happened within their own spawn, but still, Rally Royals read that like a book and were able to take care of business. Kex, let everyone know who's boss here on Hacienda. On Vol, excuse me. Wow. valiant job, fantastic effort from Rally Royals. I mean, they definitely established themselves so far in this series and putting Cabal in their place as they've completely derailed the Cabal train, ladies and gentlemen. This could very well be the last map we see, map number 3. It's going to be a control, and it's going to be a Hacienda.
It's been put off for a good while. A lot of people and a lot of challenger teams not wanting to touch Hacienda for whatever reason it is. But it's nice to see it back and nice to see it in the map. Well, I say in the map pool, but in the
rotation.
in this today's game, yeah, in the rotation in a way, and in doing so, we're getting to see the beauty of Hacienda's control. As much as people hate it, I think people are growing to like it, growing to understand how to combat that A site problem that people were saying, like, oh, move it more to the middle. No, I'm seeing its current position to be the perfect place of where it should sit. We move there, we move to those problems, and Cabal just need to kind of lock in, stick together, because we saw these buddy systems working really well, and capitalize on that kind of mentality. Play for the buddy, play for those trades instead of those 1v1s. They're not winning mechanically, they're not able to win with pure individual talented skill. But when they unify, that's when Cabal really become dangerous.
Yeah, like you said, the conga line, right, and bottom ball over towards A. I mean, they were like you said, the Cabal train completely running over anything that was in the way of its tracks, and doing so effectively and efficiently, and not even losing more than one in the process. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a Hacienda control. It's going to be a map to remember. Cabal, they've had a spark in them since that hard point. They've seen and shown to the world what they can do when they're down against the odds. And Rally Royals Red, as they've proven the last 2 maps, have proven to the world what they can do when they're handed a pen, paper, and a briefcase. They'll take care of business when they have to. Here we go. Last map for this Elite Series, question mark? We have no idea. Only Cabal has it to say at this point in time. Off to the races, these fine gentlemen go. And hopefully for Rally Royals, it'll be the last time they go for the races tonight, Hyper.
They pray and hope that they can, but if your name is Tex, you're gonna make it happen. They really want to kick things off with a good early start of the Rally Royals. Well, with a good lives advantage and also some good map control over to B. Just as a reminder, Rally Royals are blue this time. Well, they're gonna be happy if they get 1 tick onto B. That's a great start in my books.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. Another time is ticking. Hivon just kind of shimmying around. That first tick, notice how that first tick, he realizes, okay, so I'm alone right now. I don't have any reinforcements. I'm going to wait a second before I keep on that objective B. And as a result, drawing in Cabal, getting that 2-piece, and then reuniting with his team to keep that B tick going. A beautiful strategy. Not being too selfish, waiting for the perfect time to pounce like a cobra, to the point where whatever you're pouncing on is completely blindsided by it. Iowa finding 1 in rotation. And again, B completely vacated. So Iowa has no idea where to even look for Hivon, who, by the way, at this point in time, ladies and gents, is out of 5 straight.
Yeah, this is brilliant. Hivon is gonna find not the 7th, 6 and 1, by the way. That was his first death. Then doing so, 2 ticks onto B. Now they're starting to look on the most common position of A, where it's technically easier to grab. And this is huge, because once they've gained that extra minute onto A, or finish it up onto B, life is just easier for the Rally Royals here. And they just need to keep the pressure up, keep that upper control, and this round will 100% be theirs. But not without Amara just lurking in the back as he finds 2 and the spawn trap starts to come in.
Yeah, Zpox, fantastic job of that little spawn trap there, completely catching Rally Royals off guard. And Iowa sort of picking up the pace as well. Conwell will answer with a taste of his own medicine. Aim is held tightly in hand. Breach got a glimpse of what it was like. He finds 1, not able to escape through the crack. CTW, but the rest of Cabal, they will. 3 off right now for Cabal. And just like that, that might just be it for B. Yep, the B completion is there, and wasting no time of going back over to A.
Yeah, and very quickly they have rotated, so this is going to massively help. They're able to get some players onto point. Quick clear with 1:02 to go. And this is where Cabal needs to stabilize themselves. They need to get a forward position to deny this quick response from the Rally Royals, and they've nipped it in the butt temporarily. I don't think it's a sturdy position. 45 seconds left to go with only 4 lives for Cabal. It drops down to 3, and now that pressure starts to mount up because they can't be as aggressive as they were. 1 tick left for the Rally Royals, 1 life left if you are Cabal. They jump in, but it won't be enough. Rally Royals will take the first round.
Yeah, and again, beautiful effort by Rally Royals. It's knowing when, it's, you know, especially from a team that has been able to take home not one but both maps twice in a row. Yes, there was stress provided from Cabal on that search and destroy, but they still lost nonetheless. And Rally, you thinking, are going to be a lot more confident going into this control, their chest puffed out and walking with their chin up and whatnot. But no, they're not being selfish. They're not being overly aggressive. They know when it's time to retreat off the objective. They know when it's time to let the waters settle and put Cabal in an uncomfortable position. So at the end of the day, I mean, when it was 7-7 in the lives and Cabal had a pretty decent shot of fighting for that last tick on A, Rally Royals didn't jump onto the objective and try ending the round. They spread themselves out across the map and held that spawn trap. But a new round has arisen, and I'll tell you what, Rally Royals has not stopped with the slaying. My goodness gracious, 4 off to kick things off.
You mean Cabal?
Cabal, yes.
Not Cabal. It's so confusing. We're so used to Rally Royals being red for so long, but I tell you what, this is quick, this is fast, and Cabal. Hello, the train just got activated and it stopped by the barricade of the Rally Royals. 1 station short, and it looked to be a strong start. I tell you what, 2 ticks on B is the best way to get things going. But the reset is put into place, and now the Rally Royals deep into their spawns and now creating chaos within.
That's what we're gonna have to do. And you saw Hevon with the AMAD just picked up a Jackal as well, so that is going to be another streak he'll go on if he's not killed quickly. I mean, the AR SMG duo is incredibly deadly, but now a couple of trades going back and forth. I was gonna say for Cabal, it'd be really worrisome if you had gotten those 2 ticks on B and then just got completely slayed from here on out. But now time is ticking. They know that Iowa finding 1 and Neuro finding the 2nd as well. So B is on the vacated. Gonna be a couple of reinforcements coming in from Cabal pretty soon. Beautiful from Zpox. Now he doesn't have to worry about anyone coming from his backside. Cabal is flooding this B right now. The reinforcements aren't quite there yet for Rally. Or for Cabal, excuse me. And just like that, that tick will be erased.
It'd be erased, 20 seconds left, and if you are Cabal, you got 1 more shot there closer to A. So you might as well go long and make
look from behind
hold here, and that could be perfect if you are. But Breeze finds 1. There's an opportunity to start getting the clock stopped. 10 seconds left. He could not die, and that was critical. He couldn't be taken off because now the rest of Cabal have to jump on aimlessly to get the point. But as they jump in, 2.5.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
Hold point and start to split. 2.5 seconds with equal lives. And now if you're Rally Royals, comes that pressure. You just need to take them off because they're progressing on both sides. B completed, an extra minute. It's going to be done and dusted by the last millisecond.
No, it's not going to be done and dusted, but I'll tell you what, Hyper, take a look at the clock. 55 seconds to go. Cabal is down in the lives. They need to take this down a notch because if they don't, Rally Royals will keep on frying just as they did, rescuing that last sliver of the objective from being open. Zpox, fantastic find on that head glitch there. Now Neuro will work his way through the spawns, capitalizing on the trade from Conwa. Hevon will find 1 as well. And Neuro, yes, finds another. 6-6. 30 seconds left and counting. All you need is 2 on the objective, 2 watching those tops. So far, so good for Cabal.
It just trades back and forth. 4 left to go. Kex is inside their spawns, and this is going to be hard to break. Rally Royals will be the first to lose a critical member, and this is going to be horrible to see. 7 of Anura jumps onto point, immediately gets taken off. 10 seconds left on the clock. The pressure just keeps on mounting. 1 left for Rally Royals, 4.7 on the clock, and this is where CTW
They don't know where
needs
he
to take
is.
time perfectly, and it's perfect for Cabal. Holy mackerel, and that's just round 2.
Yeah, that is just round 2. What a call, Hyper. I couldn't agree with you more. And that just goes to show, ladies and gentlemen, it's not just basketball, football, or soccer, Call of Duty. You wait until the final whistle is blown, and that's exactly what Cabal was able to do. Were there mistakes that they made? Yes. Were there some kills they should have gotten? Yes. But at the end of the day, when push comes to shove, they took that pressure and handled it perfectly. And as a result, looking down a tie game 1-1 on the offensive as well, it makes it even more admirable. So now, after I'm sure the blood pressure both sides have skyrocketed from that round, it begins to settle as a new round has opened. 30 lives both sides. This time Rally Rollers on the offensive, and Cabal left to defend.
Yeah, I think I need to have a blood pressure test after this. Get a full medical health check. Bro, these guys making me stressed, man. And I'm sure they're feeling the exact same thing. But I tell you what, the start is looking pretty even, and both sides not giving up from where they left off. They want this game to go down to the sweet end.
Yeah, nice 2-piece from Manura as well to completely shut down Rally Rollers from that top window control. Kex finding one from behind. He's going to try to work those spawns, and if he's successful, it's not going to look too good. No, sirree. He gets the kill just like that, too. Sent back to the respawn screens. Could he make it 3? He does, and just like that, Kex on a spree of 3. The ringleader completely taking control of that rock side, but eventually he will be put to rest, not before the damage has been done. Anura as well will fall. I mean, goodness gracious, pushed into those spawns. Rally or Cabal will be as time is ticking, and not a single sliver has been done just yet.
Speak of the devil, and they shall appear as Alpha will get some progression, and now when they start to try and get a second, it just doesn't go their way. The feed's slowly turning blue, so this might be helpful for Rally here. Iowa's in this very unique position where he could be dangerous and keep the Rally Royals off this point for so much of this time. 20 seconds left. This is looking like a dominant performance from Cabal.
Yeah, I mean, they've seemed to have awoken like the inner beast of them, the Cabal train, chugging along and choo-chooing on all the way through to a possible round win. But CTW will stop the madness from ensuing for a second. Anura will make his rotation over and just rip that objective hold right from Hevon in CTW in the process. Kex is still back, and we know what he's capable of doing. So here it is. Iowa, Anura, 3 off. It's the last alive here. He's not able to do much. Kex, who was once the superhero on those hard point kills, not able to live up to the expectations of winning an offensive round. Cabal makes it map point as they move on and over to the offensive side yet again. They're killing themselves.
Yeah, Rally Royals are looking at the last 2 maps going, we had all this control, all this dominance, and now it's just slipping out of our hands. And it's all really from Iowa's mastermind positioning, just being in this horrible places that just doesn't fit general logic. And it's capitalizing on them, getting those free kills, and he's saying thank you. But then you have Anura. Oh my, Anura is just on fire today, feeling everything. 20 and 15, popping up, and he's loving it. Trick, we have questions. We have questions of who your friends are.
A lot of kills back and forth over to a B push at the end of the day will not allow any offensive control to be demonstrated on the map. It's like Cabal was read like a book, and what they were trying to do would throw off Rally Royals with a B push, not able to do much. So Conwell holding that top window, anticipating for that B push to go back through again. But this time, a new route has been taken. Anura, the ringleader, finding one. Iowa will be cut off from behind, unfortunately, leaving Anura the last alive for Cabal. In those spawns, he'll find one from bottom. And now the timer begins to go. Cabal, not a sliver of time quite yet. They're not able to do anything here and now. And Rally Roll is doing a great job of rebounding here. Iowa can't even do much. All that time wasted working the route. And just like that, Connell will just take the rest from here and get a 3-piece, 3 headshots to the face, and the time keeps on ticking.
Tell you what, this feels like a roles reverse. Rally Royals doing a fantastic job at defending, and in doing so will grant themselves the defensive side as Cabal wasn't able to hold off Rally Royals from getting a few ticks, but with the 1.7 seconds left, is there a last tick opportunity to go on their side? Maybe, as they keep on going. Not anymore. And finally, the round is done. Rally Royals, defensive side. But do you want to be on that side?
An explosive round number 3 coming to a screeching halt as we hit up round number 4 for Cabal. And Hanwha gotta be the MVP for this round. That 3-piece over at B completely shutting things down. You can hear in the game chat as well. What the hell is correct? That's exactly what I was thinking when I saw you hitting all those shots. Brilliant job, as Hyper said earlier, of holding off the reinforcements all by yourself. And now 2 seconds left. That's about all the time you have to discuss what to do this round. The tick, unfortunately, for Cabal will favor Rally Royals, so they're forced to go on the offensive, but they've won it before. Just gotta do it one more time.
It's a hard map to do it, though. I think both times were good luck on their side. Similar strategies played off, and they weren't able to counter. Not impossible. This is a 50-50 style of map. Same with Vault, fairly 50-50.
Oh, look at that.
Difficult is Protocol. But all's even. 26-26. Still no discretion to come through. Finally, a little step gets taken away immediately, but the feed is turning a little blue. And not blue of sickness, but blue in worry. Breeze starting to get some capture going.
Yeah, unfortunately for Cabal, I mean, they got 3 off earlier in the round and they weren't able to capitalize on that because when they tried to, Rally Royals completely slid them out of their spawns. And Nura not looking for, ooh, it's like the sixth sense there from Spider-Man. Like, yeah, I don't want to mess around with that, but he's probably going to get caught anyway as he goes through those double doors. You can see the engagement's there. Yes, he gets caught, but this time he gets a trade, so it's not as ugly as it would have been if you want those middle doors from those top steps. So now, reinforcements have arrived, for B. Connell waiting on the other side, trying to seek out, sniff out the last person could be, and it's going to be Kex who does it. Beautiful job. A 4 off for Cabal. Rally Royals taking the steering wheel back and driving this map to victory. This could very well be it right here, and ladies and gents, 19 seconds left and counting. Here we go. The respawn trap doesn't go through, especially for Anura, who's back there. He needs to get that kill, but Connell is too stubborn to die. And that could be it, Hyper. That could very well be it.
Yeah, Kex with a 5 spree. He's not letting it go. A couple of extra lead inside of there. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Second left to go. 0.4. Not going to happen. Rally Royals take the series 3-0.
3-0. I mean, there was some resistance from Cabal for sure. But
I'm not going to lie.
at the end of the day, that is all she will write. And by she, I mean Rally Royals. They wrote this series to the T in brilliant fashion, as we said earlier. I mean, it's like goes back to what I was saying earlier. There's so many opportunities that Cabal had to make a comeback possible, but just how stubbornly good Rally can be at shutting down those openings and those comeback opportunities makes them a fantastic team and a scary team to go up against in the future if you're looking down the barrel of facing them within the next couple of weeks. They just are really good closers, Hyper, and that's what you love to see.
They are good at closing. They know how to get it done and dusted, and they did that with great map control as well. Okay, letting that attacking round slip out of their, their defending round slip out of their hands and giving that Cabal, basically letting Cabal get to a round 3 on a Hacienda. Never gonna feel good, but it's something they can look into because, as I said at the start of this, Hacienda isn't being played much, and I'm still trying to dig to the reason why.
Yeah, I am as well, and you know, again, Cabal, certainly not anything to be ashamed of, but I will say you got to work on those hard points. I mean, you lost by almost, I want to say like between 70 and 80 points on map 1, and map 1 is the determining map usually for the series. I mean, the large majority of players or teams that win map 1 will go on to take that energy and win at least map 2, if not the rest of the series. So just like that, Cabal unfortunately made to pay against Rally Esports. If you didn't know who they are, you do now. I mean, unfortunately, a whooping 3-0 at the end of the day. Doesn't matter how close the scores are, it's still going to reflect that. So back to the drawing board, Cabal goes. That's going to do it for those two fantastic teams. And for now, that's going to do it for us. But join us later on tonight at around 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, where we see two more elite teams nose down go to the limit. Colony of Gamers Esports versus Atlantis Esports. Going to be facing off each other at around 10 Eastern. They're working on maps right now, Hyper. Curious to see what they come up with.
Oh, I thought that was the ending. Sorry, producer. I was waiting for the break. It's a great ending. Yeah. Stay tuned.